Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Elliot, and this is another episode of Urban Sage. I'm out here in MacArthur Park in Los Angeles, and it couldn't have been a more perfect place for me to film this video. You know, there's a little bit, stuff going on, so if you can't hear me, that's just how life goes sometimes. But so something that I've been thinking about that is really on my heart to say is like distinguishing what entraps you from being as free as you can be is so essential to identify, right? And these crazy seagulls behind me is a really great metaphor for whatever it is that is entrapping you. You are these seagulls, and what entraps you is this water. This is some of the most disgusting water in Los Angeles, but these seagulls are so attached to it that they can't go out and find more suitable water, more nutritious water, right? So maybe you have a mindset, maybe you have a behavior, a principle that you're upholding that is similar to this water, and it's keeping you it's keeping you in a place in your life that you feel that you know you shouldn't be in. And so it's so critical to really distinguish what that is, what those behaviors and what those thoughts are that are entrapping you, that are keeping you stuck in consistently doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know, and there's no right or wrong answer. There's just one that you feel within your heart, right? And the only reason why I can really speak on this topic is because I have things of myself that is a toxin like this water, and I too am like a goose, a gander, right? A flock of seagulls. But in spending time with identifying what that toxin in your life is, it allows you to understand that maybe perhaps there's something better out there for you, right? These geese may have no conception that there is more clean water somewhere else, so they stay here. They stay stuck to their environment. And regardless of how beautiful it is out here, regardless of how prosperous this environment is, an element within the environment is inhibiting them from having a more joyous, majestic, pure experience. And that's the thing, right? Because if you come to a place in yourself where you can say, okay, like, I know that there's a purpose for my life that I should be living, that I should be executing, you might as well live it out to the best of your ability. And, you know, a necessity to do that is distinguish what are the characteristics of the toxins, of the inhibitors, of the destroyers of you fulfilling your purpose, right? If you don't feel like you have a purpose, you can do whatever you want. You can flop around in the disgustingness of whatever it is that you're partaking in freely, and there's no harm, or no one has a place to say whether or not you should be doing what you're doing. But when you come to a place within yourself that says, I should be doing more than what I'm doing, you have a requirement to fulfill, which is distinguishing what is not allowing you to do that, right? And maybe that's spending time where you feel like you shouldn't be, or having relationships that you know aren't cultivating your greatness, or maybe it's just not moving forward with something that you have a passion towards. You know, really identifying with clarity what these obstacles are in your life is going to allow you to form an analysis of how to move through them and go over them, so you can be executing the purpose that you feel is perhaps a necessity for you, right? And know, while you're analyzing what elements of your life are not what you wish your life consisted of, know that when you get to a place where you're executing your purpose to its highest extent, that even though the purpose being executed is going to fulfill you, you being able to have grown enough to be in that point is going to fulfill you more than any execution could ever provide to you, right? So which means that while you're growing, while you're forming an analysis, while you're distinguishing what you wish wasn't a part of your life, and that harms you, that causes some discomfort, it makes you feel like you just don't want to be a part of yourself, because that is so intrinsically a part of you, right? That's why you have to remove it. But while you're distinguishing these traits and qualities, behaviors, mindsets, principles, whatever that you're living by, and it forms a level of discomfort, know that sifting through and moving through and conquering that discomfort is directly related with you growing towards achieving your purpose and achieving a life of majesty that you know for yourself that you should be a part of, executing and being attuned with. Right? So as discomforting this analysis may be, know that it is essential for you to reach a point of amazement for yourself, for your life, for the people in your life, for the cultivation of a better environment. Right? Because this water's gross, right? Right? But, if you start to understand that this water is gross, if you start to understand that some characteristics of yourself, some principles, some behaviors, some mindsets, some relationships, some environments are as gross as this toxic water, there's gonna come a time when you have to fly away from here, right? You have to leave what was once giving you so much comfort. You have to venture into the unknown, right? And that's painful, right? And no one wants to go through pain unnecessarily. Right? But know for yourself that while you're moving through this pain, that it is a necessity for you to reach that grander point in your life, right? And then hopefully, I pray, I aspire that while you're moving through that discomfort, that pain, that unfamiliarity, that you know for yourself that it has a purpose, and its purpose is a lily pad, is a ladder, is a path for you to get to where you know that you should be, right? And if you relate to this, if you relate to that intrinsic feeling of feeling that you should know for yourself, pardon me, I just mixed my words up. If you have this intrinsic feeling within yourself that you know that you should be executing something different than you are, then perhaps you should form an analysis. You should start to contextualize for yourself, are these relationships benefiting me? Is my job something that I really feel like is allowing me to live up to my fullest potential, or is at least a cultivator of an aspect of my life that will allow me to do that somewhere else, right? If you have a job that you don't love, is that job providing you with money so you can, fulfill your hobby freely, right? Think about the relationships that you have. Are the relationships that you have with people who are encouraging and inspiring and want you to succeed? Are they with people who nurture you, who are competitors for you, who are really challenging your potential, right? If you're surrounded with these people that don't push you into a more tensionous arena, you're always going to stay where you are, right? Because until like, you have to surround yourself with people who have your best interests in their mind long enough for you to be able to combat and juxtapose the tension that is going to formulate around being in circumstances that are unfamiliar, right? Because you're gonna start to do something new, and you're not gonna want to be doing it because it's gonna put you in a state of discomfort. And if you don't have people in your life that encourage you to stay attuned, attached, a part of that thing that's causing you discomfort, but you're supposed to be a part of, you're not gonna continue a relationship with it, and you're never gonna reach the greatness that you know for yourself that you should be executing, right? So formulate some relationships with people who have your best interest in their mind, right? And then partake in behaviors and learn some skills and include facets of what you wish you were doing into your life now, and formulate a better understanding of how to utilize those to fulfill what it is that you wish you were doing. And this is like a life tip right here. Like the best way that you can do that is have an understanding of the skill, the asset, the tool that you want to utilize to execute your purpose, and use it to fulfill a need in somebody else, add value to somebody else. And the way that you're utilizing that essence to better improve the execution of your purpose, you're going to grow exponentially in the significance that you have in the relationships that you formulated, right? So use facets that you want to be a part of to improve the life of somebody else, and you will find your own significance more exponentially, right? But none of this, you can't come to any of this conclusion. You can't understand which relationships you need in your life. You can't understand which facets of executing your purposes are essential until you formulate what you're doing right now that is not benefiting you in any aspect. If anything, allow what you're doing right now that is not aiding you in the development of your purpose, your execution of what you feel like you're meant to be doing, as an ignition, as a proponent for you to say, okay, I can't, this being a part of this has caused me too much pain. This toxicity has caused me too much pain. It has served its purpose it has served its purpose in my life to bring me to the next point in my life, right? And be grateful for whatever it was that was a toxin in your life. Be grateful for whatever it is that you want to leave behind, because on some level it served its purpose. And that purpose is, if nothing else, to bring you to a point of clarity of being right here, right now, and say, okay, I'm done with it. I'm done with whatever that was. And then the other thing that you have to keep in mind, so you continuously are in a whole standing within yourself and not chipping away at yourself, is that there may come times when you resort back to what the toxin was, and that's not a time to bash yourself for doing that, right? There is this emotional component of being a human being that transcends words. It transcends inscription, right? And you may feel that right now as I'm saying to do these things, and you may agree with what I'm saying, but you also may know for yourself that it's not that easy, right? And it not being that easy is what is going to cause you to resort back to what was once destroying you, right? But having had that clarity that what you're now engaging with is a destroyer in your life will bring you to more value what you should be a part of, right? It'll allow you to formulate a better understanding of how much you want to be a part of what you feel like is your purpose, right? So even when you resort back to what was causing decay in your life, after you've identified that that is a toxin for you to be a part of, and then you resort back to it, know that it still has meaning and purpose and value, right? It will continuously allow you to grow within yourself the more that you form clarity over what is not an essential aspect of your life. And maybe for that to happen, you're gonna have to engage with what was once harming you more often than you like to. But know for yourself that even though you may engage with what you don't want to be again and again and again, know that it is aiding you in executing your purpose to its fullest potential, right? So don't bash yourself, don't harm yourself for feeling like, I can't believe I did this again. It's not necessary, right? But on the contrary, formulate an understanding that your continuous engagement with what is paining you is actually providing you with more clarity of the essential necessity of executing your purpose, right? So because that's gonna happen, right? And so I really just want to impress this idea into you, that is, formulate an understanding of what is not a necessity in your life, right? Formulate an understanding of what is a corrosive element in your life
Is profiling a necessity?
Hell no. The loophole is so understand for yourself what is a necessity for understand for yourself what you have to let go of for you to execute your purpose or whatever you feel like you should be a part of. Because then after forming that analysis, you can slowly distill the water. You can slowly cleanse out your life of everything that is a toxin, so you can more successfully execute what you wish you were doing, right? So ask yourself, why am I doing this, right? That is the key question. Ask yourself, why am I doing this, right? And if you can't formulate a strong, essential answer to that question, maybe it's not something that you should be doing. Maybe it's something that you should let go of, right? If you're just spending all this time, all this energy in relationships and jobs and environments, and you can ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this? And you don't know why, you should probably stop doing it, right? If you feel like you should be doing something else. Again, if you don't feel like you should be doing anything else, you don't have to do anything, right? You can continuously partake in whatever behavior you feel like you want to, right? But if you have this intrinsic sense within yourself that says, I should be doing something different, ask yourself why you're doing what it is you're doing right now. And if you can't figure out an answer that is benefiting or propelling you to reach what you wish you were doing, stop doing it, right? And then you can live that life that you've always wanted. You can live that life that you feel like you should be living, right? And what greater joy in life could you be a part of than living the life that you feel like you've always wanted to be a part of, right? And then if you use that to aid in the life of somebody else, so it's not all about you, the product of that life that you've always wished that you were living is irrelevant because you're utilizing it to improve the life of somebody else. And that's something that I can't really put into words. It's just something that you have to experience for yourself, right? That altruism, the product of altruism is something that you have to experience, right? But figure out what you want to contribute by first understanding what is not essential in your life. Sift that away. Replace that with what will aid you in the development of executing what you feel like your purpose is. And then use that to improve the life of somebody else. And then you live just this insane wonderment of an existence, right? And if you don't know what your purpose is, ask yourself ask yourself what you really feel like you should be a part of, right? And you may formulate a bunch of answers. Just go after the first one. Go after the first one, right? Because there's so many things. There's so many amazing things to be a part of. But ask yourself, what should I be a part of? What should I be a part of? And you're gonna, it may not come instantaneously, but you're gonna form an understanding for yourself what you feel like your purpose should be, and then work towards that. And surround yourself with people who inspire you and aid in your development to reach that point. And then, the rest is for you to figure out while you're living out what you wish you had always been living, right? So, I'm gonna end it with that. You guys have so much more potential than you may realize, right? You just have to first distinguish what is not aiding you in your development, and then replace that with what would, and then provide a life of amazement to somebody else, and you equally, probably more so, will live a life of amazement, right? So just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Take some time alone. This is a great time. No one's even supposed to be outside. I don't even know how I'm outside right now, right? But take some time with yourself, right? Write some things down. Ask yourself a couple questions of what you're doing, right? Ask yourself, why am I doing this? And then you begin to start to live a life that you've always wanted you were living, right? But believe in yourself, take some time alone, write out a couple things of like, why am I doing this? Why do I have this relationship? Why am I at this job? Why do I do this, right? And if you can't figure out an answer to that, throw it in the lake, right? Leave it behind you, right? And progress towards living the life that you've always wished that you were living, right? And know that you can be living at that point that you wish that you always were, as long as you don't give up. As long as you don't give up, right? So continuously, even if you resort back to doing what you wish that you weren't, don't give up striving for what you wish you were doing, right? And you can reach it. You can get there. You can make it happen, right? I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself. And thanks for watching. My name's Elliot. Please drop a like, drop a comment, share, hit the subscribe button with the little bell. I appreciate you guys watching. I got a bunch of other videos. Peace.